He's not supposed to be on the court.
Him. It don't
He's
matter.
not supposed to be on the court.
Giannis talked to him. Forget all that.
No, he was on the court.
So what?
You think he said something? He probably didn't know who his dad is.
Stop it. Giannis said something
No,
to him.
because he's on the court in his face.
So what? Everybody on the court.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
No,
Everybody
you cannot do that.
Giannis said something to him.
I'm happy for him and I'm happy for his son and I'm happy that he's happy for his son. That's how you're supposed to feel. But coming to me and disrespecting me and cursing at me, I think is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Okay? And it's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports. You know, there's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful, some days you're not. Some days it's your turn, some days it's not your turn. And that's what sports is about. You don't always win.
Y'all, Giannis just straight up aired out Shaq and clowned Tyrese Haliburton's daddy on national TV. And Shaq, man tried to defend the wildest behavior we've seen from a fan/parent in years. This whole mess started with a towel, a championship loss, and a grown man storming the court like it was his time to shine. But what really set it off was when Giannis said what none of the NBA heads wanted to admit. Haliburton's dad crossed the damn line, and Shaq's defending it is just plain embarrassing. Let me break down what really happened and why Giannis had to let Shaq know. You're not gonna gaslight me into thinking I'm the problem here. It's Game 5. Indiana Pacers just beat the Milwaukee Bucks 119-118 with 1.3 seconds left. Emotions running high, players dapping up, coaches yelling, and then this man, John Haliburton, Tyrese's dad, runs onto the court like he trying to check into the game. Ain't no security stop him. He walks up to Giannis Antetokounmpo, holds a towel in his face with his son's picture on it. At that moment, Giannis was already standing alone, pissed, defeated, hands on hips. That's when Pops shows up, talking reckless. Now keep in mind, Giannis initially thought dude was just a fan. He even said, "At the moment I thought he was a fan, but then I realized it was Tyrese's father, coming on the floor, showing me his son's towel saying, 'This is what we do. This is what we fucking do.' That's so disrespectful."
Having a fan, which at the moment I thought he was a fan, but then I realized it was Tyrese's son, which I love. Tyrese, I think, is a great competitor. He was his dad, sorry. Coming in the floor and showing me his son a towel with his face. This is what we do. This is what we effing do. This the F we do. This. I feel like that's very, very disrespectful. You know.
Now this ain't just trash talk. Giannis hinted that if he really spoke on what went down fully, the league would definitely be involved. He said, "I don't want to drop all the details. I don't want to be a snitch. I come from the hood. If I open my mouth on what really happened."
I'm not the guy that points fingers because in my neighborhood, snitches get stitches. So I don't want to say something, for him to say, to get fined or anything. But it's not respectful. I talked with him at the end.
Low-key hinting on lawsuits, courtrooms, NBA bans. Giannis kept it low-key. But y'all already know that statement alone means something went way past the NBA's sportsmanship line. Now, here's where it gets messy. While everybody's calling out Haliburton's dad for acting like a delusional fan, Shaq, on Inside the NBA, says he always be on the court. He just celebrating. Let him have his moment. What?
I don't care. He's always on the court.
He should not be on the court talking to other players.
Bro, Giannis said something to him. He didn't say
came up
nothing
to
to Giannis.
Giannis.
No, he did not.
No, that's not true. He couldn't have said
walking in
anything
the line
to
behind
him.
his son.
What do you mean walking in line behind his son? He shouldn't be on the court. He didn't play in the game.
Always on the court.
No, he shouldn't be.
This man Shaq deadass called Giannis soft for being mad. Even said it's stupid that anyone got offended by a dad being hype.
No. That's just stupid. That's just stupid for you to say that. There's no reason for dad to be on the court.
That's when fans started dragging Shaq online. Like heavy. Let that sink in. The son Tyrese admitted his pops was wilding. "I don't think my pops was in the right at all there. We'll talk. That was unfortunate."
I think it's the emotions of the game just got excited there. But I talked with him. I'll talk with Giannis eventually about it. Just, I don't think that my pops was in the right at all there. And unfortunate, what happened in the end there. But, I mean.
He even told the press, "He needs to let me play and stay in his seat. I'll come to him if we win."
But I think we had a conversation, and I think he just needs to just allow me to just play basketball, stay over there. I'll come to him to celebrate. But
now that's how you handle grown man business. Tyrese didn't even try to defend him. Real respect to that. After all that, the Pacers had to sit down. They told John Haliburton he won't be allowed at any more home or road games, at least for the foreseeable future. And he agreed. Yup, man banned from watching his own son in person. It was a decision made by the team. He understood. He accepted. Now here's what y'all don't know unless you dig deep. Tyrese's mom might have smacked Giannis. Yeah, I said it. Pause this. Look at this angle. That woman right behind John, that swing, it ain't no cheer. Viewers say she low-key smacked Giannis in the heat of the moment. Wild. Was it intentional? Who knows? But if it was anybody else's mom, the headlines would be screaming, "Family attacks Giannis." Even after all that, the dude still gave John Haliburton a thumbs up as they walked away. That's how much he tried to stay classy even when he was disrespected and taunted after losing a playoff game. Now y'all thought it would stop after that? Nah, Shaq doubled down on live TV like he was ready to die on this hill. Next night on Inside the NBA, Ernie asked Shaq to clarify why he was defending John Haliburton's actions. And instead of backing off, Shaq raised his voice and got defensive. Chuck and Kenny tried to step in, but Shaq kept talking over everybody, like he usually do when he wrong, but too stubborn to admit it. You could even see Ernie looking uncomfortable, like, Shaq really out here condoning court stormers now?
He's not supposed to be on the
talk to
court.
him. It don't
He's not
matter.
supposed to be on the court.
Giannis talked to him. Forget all that.
No, he was on the court.
So what?
You think he said something? He probably didn't know who his dad is.
Stop it. Giannis said something to him.
No, because he's on the court in his face.
So what? Everybody on the court.
You can't do that.
So you think his dad was correct?
No, his dad was 100% wrong.
Giannis is wrong?
Bro, Giannis said something to him.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he not.
Look, right there.
No, his dad is coming up to him. What is his dad doing on the court? His dad is not supposed to be on the court. You can yell as much as you want to. He's an idiot. If you think that's right, you're an idiot too.
The internet clapped back instantly. One user posted, "Not even sure what point Shaq is trying to make. Hallie's dad was wrong." Literally all parties agreed it was wrong. What's exactly is Shaq defending here? Another said, "Shaq's ego too damn big. He not defending Haliburton's dad, he just trying to flex on Giannis for being emotional." And here's the coldest one I saw. Shaq loud and wrong per usual. If Giannis kick Haliburton's dad, then what? Should not be on the court, he a fan. Bruh. Reddit, Twitter, YouTube comments, everywhere, was full of people calling Shaq out. Folks even reminded him of the time he admitted to getting physical. Remember when Shaq revealed that he punched 5 people in the face in the 6 different teams he was in during his career? See, Giannis didn't go on a talk show or drop no subtweets. He waited, then revealed, "Being humble don't mean being silent. Keep talking, I heard you." People started connecting dots, saying this might be Giannis's way of saying, "You don't run this league anymore. Stop protecting clowns." Shaq once said Giannis was better than he ever was at age 24, but the internet never let Shaq live that down.
The answer to all the critics' questions, you're right. The kid was better than me at 24.
Okay, wait a minute. Do you need to see more, though? You're not saying he's better than you for his career.
No, he's 24.
At 24. Okay, at 24.
At 24.
So that is fantastic of you.
Now that Giannis is full-blown MVP, a finals MVP, and one of the cleanest reps in the league, Shaq low-key salty about how much love the new generation gives Giannis. A fan on X put it like this: "Shaq needs help." That take was so wrong. Clearly, Shaq is very jealous of Giannis. See, this ain't the first time Giannis had to bite his tongue to keep the peace. And the more I look into it, the more I realize this man been holding back for years. Let's keep it a buck. Giannis been one of the most respectful dudes in the league, never stirred the pot, never ran to Twitter fingers. But now, he's done being humble when y'all crossed the damn line. And what Haliburton's dad did, that wasn't just some fan behavior, that was personal. Let's rewind to 2021. After the Bucks won the championship, what was the first thing analysts said? Giannis got lucky. That was a fluke. He only won because KD's shoe was too big. Even after dropping 50 points in a close-out finals game, people were still doubting him. Now let's talk about that line. When Giannis said, "I come from the hood. I don't want to be a snitch."
I'm not the guy that points fingers because in my neighborhood, snitches get stitches. So I don't want to say something, for him to say, to get fined or anything. But it's not respectful. I talked with him at the end.
Y'all, that shook me, because that right there, that wasn't media-trained Giannis. That was real-life Giannis, the one who sold watches on the street, who slept in one bed with his brothers, who used to share sneakers with Thanasis because they couldn't afford another pair. People don't know this. Back in Greece, Giannis dealt with racism, poverty, immigration threats, and still made it out. So when he said, "If I speak on what happened, there'll be lawsuits," he meant it. He meant Haliburton's dad probably said or did some real wild-ish that would have blown this up way beyond basketball. Some fans even speculating that racial slurs might have been used. And you know what? I believe that. That's what's even wilder. No fines, no statement, no security protocol revision, nothing. If this was a random fan, bro, they'd be banned for life. This dude ran up to a franchise player and got in his face. That's assault if it ain't on TV. But because it's a player's dad, the league just looking the other way. Makes you wonder, what would have happened if Giannis had reacted? What if he did push John Haliburton? You think the media would still be praising Giannis for being classy? Hell no. they would have dragged him all over ESPN, Fox Sports, and Bleacher Report. And here's where Shaq's logic falls apart again. Like I mentioned before, Shaq admitted to being physical. But here's another one. Remember when Shaq clowned JaVale McGee for like a whole year straight? He ran a damn segment on Inside the NBA mocking him. But when Charles Barkley joked about Shaq's weight, suddenly it was too far. Shaq picks who he protects, and Giannis ain't on that list. Kinda giving, he protects stars that feed his ego. If you a threat, he belittles you vibes. This drama made people realize just how much old heads in the league hold double standards. Giannis gets hated for being quiet. Ja gets clowned for being loud. Steph gets hated for being cocky. LeBron gets hated for being strategic. But Haliburton's dad acting like a toddler in a casino? That's suddenly just passion? Nah. Miss me with that. Yikes. Now that the dust is settling, you'd think folks would be over it by now. But nah. This whole Giannis versus Shaq versus Haliburton's family situation just won't die. And the NBA staying quiet? That's only making the speculation louder. Let's talk about how wild it's gotten since Giannis spoke out, and why this might actually affect the way the league handles player safety and fan boundaries moving forward. A few hours after the internet dragged him into the mud, Tyrese's dad, John Haliburton, finally issued a public apology. I sincerely apologize to Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Pacers organization for my actions following tonight's game. This was not a good reflection on our sport, or my son and I will not make that mistake again. Sounds nice, right? But the fans weren't buying it. They pointed out how this man stormed the court like he was the 13th man, got in Giannis' face after a playoff loss, mocked him with a towel, and allegedly cursed him out in front of TV cameras. Then tried to clean it all up like, oops, my bad. Nah, that apology was PR, not remorse. He only said sorry because the team told him he can't show up again. And it's true. Right after the apology dropped, the Indiana Pacers confirmed John Haliburton won't be attending any games for the foreseeable future, home or away. So was it really sincere or just damage control? This entire incident exposed just how soft the league has gotten when it comes to court security. I mean, let's be honest. If this was a random fan, they'd be tackled, arrested, and banned from NBA arenas for life. But because it was a player's dad, he gets a slap on the wrist and a voluntary break from games? That's wild. The NBA acting like this ain't a safety issue. What happens when the next excited parent tries something more serious? This ain't just about Giannis anymore. It's about precedent. The next time a fan crosses the line, they gonna point to this moment and say, well, Haliburton's dad did worse. Let's keep it real. Shaq's brand ain't what it used to be. He's the goofy uncle of basketball media, and most folks still love him. But this whole drama exposed a side of him people ain't used to seeing. The one who protects disrespect as long as it fits his narrative. Now, since Giannis said he wouldn't spill everything that happened, fans been filling in the blanks on their own. Some wild theories circulating online. That a racial slur may have been used, which would explain Giannis's hood comment. That the Bucks were ready to press charges, but Giannis told them to let it go. Again, all speculation, but with how shady the NBA's been about releasing statements, fans are running wild with these theories. Real talk. This might actually shift the way the NBA treats court behavior. I wouldn't be surprised if we see new player family seating rules, stricter on-court access enforcement, clear guidelines on what happens after buzzer beaters. Because if the league don't act fast, they're sending a message that anyone can walk up to an NBA star and start jawing and get away with it. And Giannis, he's watching all of it. Let's recap. Giannis was ambushed on the court after losing a crucial playoff game. Haliburton's dad mocked him with a towel and possibly cursed him out. Giannis handled it with class while still making it clear he ain't gonna tolerate disrespect. Shaq defended the wrong dude, then refused to backtrack even after fans and media called him out. Tyrese Haliburton admitted his dad was wrong. The Pacers banned him from games, and the NBA stayed silent like they hoping it blows over. But it won't, because Giannis said what needed to be said. This was disrespectful. I come from the hood. I don't want to snitch, but don't push me. And that, right there, made the whole league listen. If y'all rocked with this, go ahead and smash that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Shaq out of pocket for defending Haliburton's dad? Should Giannis have gone further? And do you think the NBA should have punished somebody? Subscribe if you want more real talk like this, no fluff, all facts, just like we do every week. And stay tuned, because this drama, it ain't over yet.